Hello everyone, welcome back to Insight and welcome back to the Australia series as well. In the last video, I spoke about the Australian healthcare system. I gave a general overview of how the healthcare system works, what is Medicare, and what is the difference between public and private hospitals, etc. If you've not seen the video, you can see the link pop somewhere here. Today, I'm going to slightly expand on that particular video, that is how to enroll in Medicare, some of the resources that can guide you in that. Medicare is the universal health insurance scheme of Australia, and I'm going to talk about that. And in the second part, I'm going to talk about my experience with the Australian public healthcare system over here. I'm going to talk in terms of pregnancy. If you're interested, continue listening. How to enroll in Medicare. Enrolling in Medicare is pretty straightforward, and there are quite a few resources also available that can guide you. I'm going to place the links in the description that can help you or assist you in doing so. So the first step is you are supposed to complete the Medicare enrollment form. There is a form that is linked in that particular link also, so you can complete that. And then along with your supporting documents to prove your citizenship or your permanent residency, or if you're eligible or not, and some identity documents, you need to either email it to them. There is Medicare enrollment service, or you need to send it to them by post. Once you do that, you are enrolled in Medicare. And after you've enrolled in Medicare, the next step is linking this particular service with MyGov. Now MyGov is like a central place. It's really helpful as far as I am concerned. I found it really helpful because it kind of links all your services like your ATO, your tax related documents, your central link service, your Medicare service. There are all these services that you can link to in a central place called MyGov. And the steps that are associated with linking your Medicare to MyGov is also very straightforward. I'll place that link also in the description section so that it can help you. And if you have any questions related to this process or anything that's unclear, you can put it down in the comments. So in this part of the video, I'm going to talk about my experience with the Australian public health system in terms of pregnancy. I thought it could be helpful for a lot of people who are in a similar journey or who are planning to be in a similar journey. So the first step, as I mentioned in the last video also, is that once you've done home test or anything, you will go to a GP. Now, GP is a general practitioner who specializes in family medicine or general medicine. So once you go to a GP, they're going to perform some tests on you, or they're going to order you to take some tests. And once you do that, so that would be your first step. Now, GP consult, since I had not researched before for a bulk billed GP, I had covered this part also in the last video. I had to pay some out of pocket costs. Now, my GP consult was around $130. It was not fully bulk billed. There was some kind of Medicare rebate. So I got a rebate of around $80. So my out of pocket cost for both there was about twice consult with GP. For both these times it was around $40 to $50. So one tip here, if you want to really save money, there could be some GPs who can who are fully bulk billed. I mean, you don't have to pay anything if you have a Medicare, so you can end up saving money there. But the only thing is you got to do your research before. You got to set up new patient registration forms with them beforehand, before they can actually take you in. So if you go on a short notice, you may have to end up paying something. So that's what happened in my case. I went to a private clinic that was not fully bulk billed. So after that, I was ordered to take a whole lot of blood tests, like for a whole lot of things, for vitamin, thyroid, and a whole lot of things. So these tests were then bulk billed because there was like a package of tests. The place where I went, they didn't charge me anything for these tests, so that was fully covered. Then the next part of expense that I would say is for the ultrasounds. So there are different ultrasounds, but they don't happen like every month. There are ultrasounds at few of those, at few stages, like at a 6 weeks ultrasound. Then you've got a 10 to 12 weeks ultrasound, and then you've got a 20 weeks ultrasound, and then there is a wellness ultrasound at around 30 weeks. That is optional. Now, in between, if there are any other complications or any other things that are not going in the right direction, they may ask you to take another ultrasound as well. So that's another expense. Now, for these ultrasounds, for the initial ultrasounds, I was charged around $200, and I've got a Medicare rebate of around $80 or something. So out of pocket cost for all the ultrasounds, including the ultrasounds at the latest stage, which was slightly expensive than the initial one. Like if initial one was around 160, 200, the later ones, the more important ones, were around $270. Even for ultrasounds also, there are some radiologies or centers that are fully bulk billed and you don't have to pay anything. So you can do your research on these as well to see if there are any centers. I went for private centers because I looked at the ratings and it was just a personal preference that we would go for a private radiology clinic where there was some kind of Medicare rebate, but some is covered by Medicare. So you get a referral document from GP, and then you go to these clinics, and rest of the process is taken care by them. All of this is maintained in your health record. There is a health record which keeps on moving from one place to another. Now, after these consultations and midway through the pregnancy, I think around after my 20 weeks, I would say I was then referred to the public hospital. From now on, the consultations would be at the public hospital. And midwives are the one who dealt in my case. Now you have an option to select your package here as well. Like if you want to go with like fully midwives, or if you want to have like a mixed package like doctor as well as midwives, you have that option. So I went with midwives, so it's called MIST. So I went with that package, and all my consultations from here on were with midwives, where they looked at my case, they looked about how things are at home, about how the environment is at home, about how my stomach feels, about how I feel, my emotional questions as well. So it was kind of a comprehensive test. Whenever I went with them, they asked me a whole lot of questions. So I definitely had a good experience every time I went there. So these consultations are also timed. So in the beginning itself, once I'm registered into this public hospital, I get a courier post about all my appointments. Like these are my appointments at 32 weeks, 36 weeks, 38 weeks, 40 weeks, and so on. So I get the list of all those dates and all. I have an option to change them or modify them as well. And in every time that I go in, there is a time slot within which I need to meet them, and I need to talk about all of these things. I think the only time I had a visit with the doctor was towards the end. It was around my 36th week. That was the only time I had a visit with the doctor. Rest, everything was done by midwives. And finally, the D-Day, the day of the delivery, I got really good care, and after that post-delivery as well, I was there in the hospital for around 3 days. And during these 3 days, the kind of care that I received was really good, and the midwives, they took care of me really well. They trained me on various aspects like feeding, how to hold a baby, etc. And even my partner, even he received a training on diaper, on bath training, on these kind of things as well. So overall, the kind of experience that I had there was really good. It kind of gave me some confidence, and it kind of started my recovery process as well. They would come and take care of me and advise me on various things. Then there were some physiotherapists also that visit you, and they tell you about some kind of exercises that you can do, etc. And they give me a list of whole sort of resources that are associated with that particular public hospital. That was a pretty good public hospital, one of the most popular in Melbourne as well. So there are a lot of fact sheets and tutorials that they link us to. Those fact sheets and links also I'll place in the description if anyone is interested or is in a similar journey. I think those fact sheets are really good. You can have a look. And for all these hospital care and the days that I was, or for any consultations with the public hospital midwife, I was not charged anything. So they were completely free. So there was such a relief in my case. And I've generally heard in terms of pregnancy and in terms of any surgeries associated with pregnancy, Australian public health system is really good. They take care of you really well. At least in my case, it was so. Now, the experiences with pregnancy could be really personal and it could differ from one person to another. If you've had a different experience or if you have felt the same way as I did, you can put down in the comment section as well. I would love to know those as well. So this was my whole experience with pregnancy in a public health care system or in a public hospital. I hope this video was helpful. I will be coming with more videos about international students in the upcoming series as part of the Australia series. So if you enjoy this video, make sure to like and share with others as well. Thank you so much for listening. Content shared in this video is based on personal experience and research. If you enjoyed the video, like, share and subscribe. Keep watching, keep listening and continue learning.